Okay. Good afternoon, Monodachis! I hope you're all having yourself a wonderful, fantastic, extra spectacular, and positively amazing day today! Welcome! Check it out! We're not gonna waste any time today because I'm a professional monkey reactor. I need to talk about this today because I'm actually a freaking huge. Let me freaking plug this in first. Freaking, where the hell's my cable to plug in stuff? Yeah, me a cable. I found it. I got it. I'm actually a huge fan of Fable, the series. I've loved it ever since Fable 2 came out, and I fell in love so much with that game. I went back to play Fable 1, and I loved it. And then I played Fable 3, and it was not as good as the other two, but it was alright. And then it pretty much just been waiting since then for like anything else to come out that's been good. But it's like not much has happened. There was like a big trailer that came out, and it looked terrible. I mean, it looked like garbage. Like I don't even know what the hell it was. It was fugly, right? And everybody didn't like it. So apparently, potentially, the game has quote unquote abandoned the modern audience, according to their dark here. So we're gonna go ahead and check it in because I am so opinionated on this particular game, just because I'm such a fanboy. And I'm really hoping they have a return to form, but I just lost a lot of faith when Fable 3 came out, to be completely honest. And I can only imagine this, like, I can't, or opposite, I cannot imagine a world where this new game will be, honestly, anywhere close to Fable 1, and definitely not Fable 2. So I'm kind of hoping to be proved wrong there. But let's kind of go in a little bit of a, a nice little, we're gonna try to be super lenient, super nice about it. Let's go ahead and check it out, see what's going on.
The latest look at Fable has been received pretty poorly by gamers. Sure,
Damn.
some are saying we've won because you don't have to play as
Sure,
the
that's a good sign.
masculine, ugly character we saw in the teasers and trailers, and you can customize a new character to a certain extent, but at the same time, there are some glaringly obvious problems with this title that point to it being modern audience slop, and it is getting wrecked online for these issues. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I love to be hopeful. I love to be optimistic about upcoming experiences, but in no way, shape, or form does the new Fable seem like Fable, at least to me and many other people, and there are some glaringly obvious problems, like the way that the male characters walk, like some of the character customizations that are in this game, NPCs, and in my opinion, what sounds to be AI voice acting. They've boasted about how there's over 1,000 voiced NPCs. There's no possible way, at least from what I have heard, that these are human beings. They sound so stiff, so robotic, really bad quality, and
that freaking sucks to hear. And you could totally voice, like, you could like the typical conversion rate is like one voice actor could be hired and paid one time to voice like 3 different characters in like a TV show, or in a video game. That would be like pretty easy, pretty standard, pretty like, not that I'm like super into it. Like, I haven't really worked too much in the industry. I'll audition, but I haven't gotten an official role yet. So oddly enough, I am in the credits of Monster Prom, but that's because I was part of the Kickstarter, and I think I show up as Flamethrower Monkey. So, a million voices could definitely, like, that could be quite a few voice actors, I should say. But a lot of games have, fixed that by just having, just hiring an absolute ton of voice actors and just having them all do, sometimes maybe they could offer 5 roles instead of 3, something like that,
While this game does visually look pretty
So it's
good,
not like, what I'm trying to say here, it's not like they couldn't they could not, just go out of their way to hire a bunch of voice actors and sort of boast about how many characters are actually voiced. You could hire a decent number of voice actors. You wouldn't have to hire a whole lot, and potentially still get a high number of voiced characters, and boast about that if you really wanted to. But yeah, if you're gonna boast about a million voices and then people find out it's AI, even if some people are okay with it, you're gonna get it's gonna cause too much controversy. It's gonna cause a lot of bad opinions. You know what I mean? So it's just sort of better to avoid that if possible.
I don't think that that is enough to carry an experience anymore. There are plenty of games that have released over the years that look really solid. And part of what is funny is people are comparing games from like 2013 to 2026 Fable. And yes, again, the new Fable game does visually look pretty good, but it's not some groundbreaking revolution.
Yeah, we really don't need to do more with graphics. Nobody, I'm just gonna say it. At this point in time, I'm pretty sure most people actually hate realistic graphics because they look boring as hell and completely uninspired. I will be honest with you, I never liked high fidelity graphics unless I'm playing Combat Ace or unless I'm playing a military simulator or something like that. Or something like this with Rise, which is like a historical combat, whatever the frick. But other than that, like I never really like felt like Civilization 5 was lacking because the characters didn't look super realistic. I never found myself like feeling like I wasn't a sailor whenever I was playing Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Even though everything was cartoony as hell, like I still felt like I was a pirate in the oceans. It was fun. It was cool.
Revolutionary art style or visuals. It looks like so many other games that
I'm not saying, when Assassin's Creed Black Flag came out, of course those graphics blew my mind and I loved it, but it wasn't really the graphics of the waters that impressed me. It was more so the mechanics of the ship, of the naval combat that personally for me made me want to play that game so much, and it was how fun those mechanics were that kept me playing. In fact, I remember I would actually get mad whenever the game wanted me to land on an island or something to go do missions there. It's like, I don't want to do that. I want to go sail more. I want to go plunder some more loot. Like why the hell would I want to go on land? I'm a pirate. So it's like, I'm not saying that graphics ain't shit. I'm just saying they don't really matter. At a certain point, you're not gonna impress nobody. Hey,
in my opinion,
how's it going? I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.
Like Avowed. I don't know
How's it been, my dude?
if it is the UI color because it's that like teal.
Oh, next time I have a get together with some boys, I gotta hit you up, for real.
Seafoam greenish color.
Been a minute, dude.
I don't know if it's just the way that the HUD is set up. To me, this game screams Avowed, and I didn't like Avowed. A lot of people clearly didn't like Avowed. It did not take off the way that Microsoft anticipated. But either way, we're not talking about something here that is being received extremely positively. Now, when you watch this teaser / this showcase, you can tell a few glaring problems that we have experienced. Now, the character creator / customization system is, in my opinion, a red flag because they are basically describing a set of characters you can choose from to play, but that there's not going to be in-depth character creation. Maybe they plan to flesh it out, maybe they just didn't describe it well, but it sounds to me that it was rushed. And I am of the belief that you initially were going to play as this set protagonist, but because everybody hated her so much, they decided to add in create a character system because they didn't want to face any more backlash, because they
Honestly, at a certain point, it's like, I don't know, make like 12 options. Make like 10 to 12 options of female, like of female characters, and make like 10 options of the male characters. And I'm not even joking. Literally make it from like 1 to 10 on a scale of ugly to sexy, and I think everybody will be happy, right? Like at a certain point, they'll all be happy. And it just and it's freaking Fable. Just add an absolute lunatic amount of customization outfits, hairs, wigs, makeup. Like all these things have been in the game since forever. Tattoos, like Fable is renowned for its customization, and not only its customization, but how your customization changes along with the karma system.
Never had highlighted another character
Where like the more evil things you do, the more demonic you look, and the more nice things you do, the more angelic you look.
Trailers. Up until this point, it was only that female. And if you really start paying attention to small details like the walking animation, it looks very feminine. It does not seem manly at all whatsoever. And I think that this is one of two things. Either they basically slapped this male skin over this existing character, and it's just the walking animation they originally intended.
I was about to say, like, don't you just love it when you get
they
these?
basically slapped this male skin over this existing character.
I just love how fantasy and medieval these character names are.
And it's just
Leslie. Ah, yes, a name befitting the Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones itself.
The walking animation they originally
but at least then we
intended
get
to be
Harminder. Alright, you know what? There's two extremes, maybe a little bit too much, a little bit not enough.
In the game, and they haven't made a male one yet, or it's just going to stay this way, and this is 100% intentional because they want to feminize men. Unfortunately, in entertainment, men are not allowed to be men anymore. They're not allowed to have any masculine traits, and it's like they want to back you into a corner to play as the strong, stunning, and brave female that they initially intended the game to be played as, because they don't actually care about men and don't respect men. I mean, even the guys that are on this development team seem a little bit too soy to me.
Again, a little bit too soy. Damn, shots fired. But yeah, it's like, if that's the walk animation for a male protagonist in the game, how long has this game been in production and y'all don't got a walk cycle for the male protagonist? Like, y'all don't have a walk cycle. Like, how garbage are these developers? Cause that's the thing, right? It's either they're too damn late. Like, the only thing there's only two possibilities here. Either they're too damn lazy to make a separate walk cycle, or they suck so much that this game has been in development for so long and they haven't been able to get a walk cycle for the male character. It's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's like, it's either you're just shitty at your job or you're lazy at your job. I can't see another thing.
You think that it was always their intention to have a character creator, you're allowed to
and
have
if it literally is just that they that it's like, oh well, it wasn't intended to have a male protagonist, then it really is just lazy. Because it's like, if you're gonna add the male protagonist, at least give it a proper walk cycle. Like, that's freaking. I feel like even if someone who's never developed a game, that's like game development 101.
Opinion. I do not believe it, though. And there are people saying things like, they didn't forget that's exactly how these male feminists walk on the work floor over there, and it's true. And the strong brown woman who checks the protagonist out walks like a man. It's very interesting that most of the characters with some sort of position of power in this game.
Yeah, the chick in the green over there actually does have a very masculine walk cycle, actually, the more you look at it.
Like blacksmiths, for example, are women, and generally women of color, that were highlighted in this trailer. And there was even a homeless man who looked like Joe Dirt, but that has drawn a lot of backlash as well, because it seems very intentional, and there are going to be people out there who say, oh, you're overreacting, you're just looking for a reason to attack this game. It's not my fault that there have been these patterns in the video game industry for over a decade now, and when I see this,
it's like, if there was nothing to attack, she probably wouldn't make a video on it, huh? Like, I just don't see her making a bunch of videos about how Arc Raiders is, like, doing really bad. And I'm just gonna say, I think I've had, for the most part, of playing as a female character in Arc Raiders. I can't think of a single outfit that's like overtly sexy or anything sexualized at all. Every single outfit, the ladies are hella covered up. And even what's even funnier is that the outfit that I run is like one of the most covered up outfits out there. And I'll show it to you just because I don't even think I've shown it on stream yet. I am running this one. The freaking it's like a I don't want to say it's not definitely not cyberpunk. It's like junk punk. It's like it's basically like what happened, like what kind of a cult, like it's as if you were to take a culture that is born out of like trash, like recycled like components and robotics and pieces. So the characters look like they have like almost a ritualistic relationship with a lot of the garbage that exists in the world after the apocalypse. And nobody's complaining about this. I don't see Vara Dark. I thought this was gonna boot up a lot faster, to be completely honest with you. I haven't seen Vara Dark or any other YouTuber really make videos and complain. This is my female character in game. And I think literally all the outfits that I have for her, I think this is probably the most revealing one out of all of them. Besides that, literally everything is well covered. I want to get this one, actually. It looks like the Gundams. Anyway, but, like, just so you know I'm not lying, literally, okay, that was a little bit, like, well, no, not even revealing, really. Just doesn't have a mask on. Beekeeper, this one's sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these. I want to get that aviator one, actually. Oh, we got chest! We can see neck! Alright, besides that, though, I'm pretty sure that looks to be the most revealing one out of all of them. And I don't hear any complaints whatsoever in any way, shape, or form about this game. Nada. So it's not like anybody is it's not like these are these are not invalid criticisms. They're absolutely valid, especially when specifically Fable has always been a game that not only allows you to play as a male or female, but for the most part the story stays the same whether you're a male or a female, right? But though to be fair, in the third one, right, it depending on if you were male or female, you either had the prince or the princess at the beginning of the game. But even then, that didn't really change the story at all, and it really probably in an ironic way shows more that those games were probably more progressive than this one because they were more inclusive about both genders.
Pattern playing out, I am going to call it out. I would rather criticize and call out and be weary and be wrong at the end of the day than let it slide until the point where the game comes out and it's a pile of trash and everybody bought it and they were scammed out of their money. Here's another post criticizing the fact that the frame rate seems extremely unstable, which I agree with. I complained about this several times throughout the event, that it looked like it was 30 FPS and that it was dropping. This is just not the state that you should be highlighting and showing off a game in my opinion. But they say that our male character has a fairly feminine walk, which you can see below, and while I'm happy to know we can choose whichever sex, I do have an expectation of a more masculine hero strut, and this misses the mark for me. Yeah, I really hope that they go back to the drawing board and they work on this, but we are talking about modern day Microsoft developers here. They have guidelines they have to follow, like, is your woman as strong as your male character? Are you providing enough diversity to experience all of these ridiculous things? Here's another post. I just watched the
and you know what's the most concerning thing about it all is what this really shows is that even if they start to make changes now to the game to sort of make it the game appeal to everybody, I don't think it's really gonna help. Genuinely, as a fan of Fable, I think I've given up hope on this game. And let me explain my reasoning behind this. At this point, it doesn't matter how much you change of the game, right? Because it was built from the ground up with this like weird politics and weird modern audience like situation embedded into every little aspect of the game. You could tell just by the way the character walks. They can't even get that right. So no matter like any changes that they make realistically, they're gonna be superficial. They're gonna be surface level, and I could just tell already that it's not going to actually be like a good Fable game the way we remember it. I unfortunately have lost all hope. They would have to literally scrap the entire project and start over on a brand new one for me to even begin to start having faith again, to be completely honest with you. And I think just like with other, we're gonna call them modern schlop, I think we're just gonna have to let this one fail. Just like Call of Duty. Just like Call of Duty. And just like Call of Duty, I think we have to let this one fail big time. And hopefully it doesn't kill the franchise and they make another one, a better one. But if it does, unfortunately, be that this is the last of the franchise, honestly, I'm kind of glad that they can no longer butcher this poor franchise. I care so much about it, I just don't want to see them hurt it anymore.
Trailer, and I'm left wondering if there's any canonical reason why people are apparently going extinct in medieval times. Maybe Xbox heard Dark Age and completely misunderstood what it meant. This looks ridiculous and this fad needs to die out. Yeah, I don't have a problem with you adding a diverse character here and a diverse character there. It's fine if you want to have a story surrounding a certain group of people within your fantasy world, but at the same time, we are talking about over representation here to the point where.
And yes, for those wondering, there are literally like different continents and different like landscapes that do have dark-skinned people in Fable. That's kind of so there is a place for it, but this is like one of those classic like we want to put in as many mixed race people as possible, and now it no longer makes sense. And if anything, feels more like you're walking around at Disneyland, because what with the race quotas, as opposed to an actual video game taking place in Albion.
People groan and sigh and roll their eyes because we can clearly tell you are doing too much. You are not.
Yeah, literally everybody in this image right here looks exactly like an LA office, an LA California office space. I'm not even joking. This doesn't even look like medieval anymore. This just looks like a Renaissance fair here in LA.
Introducing inclusivity and diversity naturally, you are doing it because you are going down a checklist, and people are going to call you out on that every single time. Fable is looking exactly as expected from a modern Western.
Yeah, what the hell is that? She looks like a thumb.
Race aside, none of these characters look appealing. None of the costumes look.
Doesn't even look human.
None of their faces look cool. The facial animation.
Aw, that's just weird. Why she looks like somebody put butter on her face and then like mushed it all together, like deformed her face altogether.
Animations were very, very bad, and we're just talking about problem after problem after problem here. Fable just saved their whole game.
It's not as bad as this one, right? But damn.
Reputation by getting rid of this woman as the main character and letting you create your own, and I do agree that it does help them a lot. I'm not saying that this game looks like the worst title ever, but there are a lot of problems, and having you be able to create your own character or have these different presets is still good, but it seems that that wasn't their initial intention and that they wanted you to play as this Uggo right here. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this. I will be talking more about Fable in the future, but yeah, the initial reactions are not extremely positive. There's a lot of criticisms being levied at this game, and while I do think it is a long ways away and they still could change quite a bit about the experience, we'll have to see if they truly do continue to listen to their potential customers. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a
Please go drop a like or drop a sub to Very Dark. And be sure to comment so the algorithm knows that you like her stuff. I genuinely feel like, again, this is gonna have to be one of those situations where we simply let it fail. It's you could just sort of see everywhere that it's literally like it's seeped this like weird LA modern audience targeted slop has like seeped into the very bones of the entire project. I just don't see this coming out well. I think it's gonna fail big time. I can definitely see it making a decent amount of sales. Like, it's definitely not gonna be as bad. Like I see it at least doing as good as Call of Duty, right? Because frankly, there's a lot of people with the nostalgia, a lot of people who are fans of the game. But my hope is that this one will genuinely fail, and that next time they actually put in like a genuine effort to return to their roots, because this game definitely looks nothing like Fable 1 or 2. Even Fable 3 looks like it looks pretty tame in comparison, right? But I would like something a little bit more closer to Fable 1 and 2. And I'm not necessarily married to the idea of it having to be Fable anymore, right? Because a lot of games lately have been giving me the experience that I actually want, but not with the nostalgia or the unfortunately not with the games that I want to play, right? But for example, I did not, if I didn't get a Resident Evil slash Dead Space vibe out of those two games for a long time, I played Prey, and that gave me all the Bioshocky sort of Resident Evil fix that I wanted, Arcs, what's another good example? I'm trying to think. Right now, for example, Battlefield 6 is giving me that Call of Duty fix that I want. Frickin' Arc Raiders, honestly, is kind of giving me that Gears of War fix that I really want. It's not locusts, but it's robots, but it's that third-person rush, sort of like, sometimes you could instantly get KO'd, sometimes, it's like, I like it. It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a good feel to it. It reminds me so much of that. And so it's like, yeah, I'm not married anymore to the classics, so to speak, because honestly, a lot of big developers have gone out to purchase all the nostalgia games and have pretty much just completely ruined it with their like weird politics. And it's like, if you want to be political, that's totally fine by me, and you have every single right to do so. But nobody cares in the gaming sphere. Nobody cares as far as what your politics are. We just want a fun game. We want it to be good, and we want it to actually, be well developed well. And everything here, either looks half-assed made, or it looks like it really is trying to fit a weird agenda that nobody cares about. So it's like, all right, well, I even if the game is like halfway decent, I'm never gonna feel comfortable knowing that this is like some weird baked attempt at trying to like change my way of thinking and my mentality and my this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, I don't want to give you money to be lectured and to be like told that this is right and that's wrong. I don't care. Sometimes I want to be the bad guy. Sometimes I want to be the good guy. Just let me do whatever the hell I want to do, and give me all the options available, like the classic Fable games. And honestly, that's the reason why I find myself right now going back. I'm literally off stream playing Fallout New Vegas right now, non-stop. I have two characters. I've been mentioning it for a while now. I have two characters I'm simultaneously running right now, a good character and a bad character, so I can see the outcomes on both sides. And it's cool. It's great. I like it. It's fun. Why? Because honestly, Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 suck ass. They're trash. They're genuinely garbage. Like half of the freaking updates in 76 don't like ruin the lore of the game. That's been like in play since forever. So it's like at this point, I don't even. I feel this is the mentality I sort of go in to any modern day made game. Honestly, they're not showing the new female character model yet because they need to research and development time to figure out what a woman is. Damn, modern audience fatigue is real. He walks like Pedro Pascal. It's Microsoft. They didn't drop anything. They didn't drop anything. DEI. What? Oh, they didn't like drop any of the DEI stuff. Well, it doesn't matter. Like even if it wasn't Microsoft, like you can't just like any superficial changes you make aren't gonna actually genuinely make a difference because they made the game from the ground up with that intention, you know. And same thing with Call of Duty. They made the game from the ground up with the intention of swindling you out of every single microtransaction dollar for Warzone and battle passes and cosmetics. So yeah, of course that's all that like no matter how much they try to change it, that's what the game is built for. That's what the game is intended for for Warzone, and the multiplayer is gonna feel like Warzone, and that's it, right? Alright, Monodachis, please go drop Veradark a like, go drop her a sub, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and link the video on Discord, and I'll be sure to drop the link down in the description below if you are watching on the VOD. Ayoo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Salut!